Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thought I'd make a video on some things that I've seen in my 10 years of running, 4 main mistakes that people make that keeps them from getting faster. I made these mistakes, I learned from them, and then I went on with my training. But talking to friends, talking to family, I realized that a lot of people make these mistakes, and I wanted to make this video so I can keep you guys from making the same mistakes. I was gonna film this on vacation. I actually did film this on vacation, but the audio was really bad, so I thought I'd reshoot it here after we got back, but I'll probably intersperse some vacation video into the video to break up the monotony of me talking, and because I really wanted to show you some of the waterfront runs I did, I was really excited for that. These are lessons I've learned over 10 years of running. I started running in middle school. I hated it. I ran cross country, and then I got really sick, lost 50 pounds, and then when I came back, I started running track, and I went from being 180 pounds to 130 pounds, and I was like, oh, I understand why people like this running thing. I feel like I'm flying. So over the next 6 years of middle school and high school, I ran cross country the whole time. I ran track part of the time, and I got my body weight back up. My PR in high school was 17:57 for the 5K, which I thought was slow then because I was running with some pretty fast people, but looking back, I know it's, pretty fast. So then I took a 2-year hiatus from running. I only strength trained. I was 169 when I did the 17:57 5K. And then when I started running again, I was 211. So put on a good amount of weight. And I was trying to run the same paces as I did before. I was looking down at my watch. I was getting upset. And, I started making all these mistakes that I'm going to go through. And I spun my wheels for a long time, got really frustrated. That's when I decided to get a coach, which I'll make another video on later about my coaching and how that process has been. But I got a coach, fixed all these issues, and then moved on. But I was talking to a lot of friends and a lot of family and realized a lot of people make the same mistakes. A lot of people don't know these things. So that's why I wanted to make this video, to put it out and help you guys, and something to send friends and family that are asking about running, right? These things are things a lot of people do. And if you keep doing these things, you're not going to get faster. You're going to burn yourself out, and you're going to run yourself into the ground and get upset and either hate running altogether or just spend years, upset that you're not getting faster. So yeah, let's get into the video. So the first thing that I did that most people do is they run too hard too often. So I personally was looking at my pace on my watch, and I was really upset with how slow I was going. I knew I used to be really fast. I knew my easy pace used to be really fast. So I tried to keep that pace, but I wasn't fit enough to keep that pace. And so it was just burning me out. So everyone wants to feel like they're getting better and like they're putting in all this work. And so everybody goes out and runs really hard, and they feel really exhausted when they're done, and they feel like they made progress. However, if you go out and run really hard all the time, you're going to burn out, and you're not going to get stronger. Your body's not going to recover. You're just going to work your body into the ground, and then eventually you're going to get frustrated because you're not getting faster, and you're going to stop running. So what you need to be doing instead is running in what's called zone 2. So it's typically a heart rate that people measure, but really you can do it by effort. You don't need a heart rate monitor. So the way that looks is you just have to be able to talk. So when I filmed this on vacation, I was doing a zone 2 run, and I was talking to the camera, right? You need to be able to talk in 10 to 15 word sentences without gasping for air. It's not going to be as easy as I'm talking right now, but it's going to be possible. The main benefit of zone 2 is building aerobic base and aerobic capacity. Having a stronger aerobic capacity will help you hold sub-threshold paces for longer. And it'll actually even help you recover more between intervals when you do interval work. So you might be able to do the same intervals with less rest, or keep the same rest and do a faster pace because your body's able to recover faster. And it actually translates over to the weight room too. An increased aerobic capacity will help you recover faster between sets, and you'll actually be able to do more work in a given time in the weight room. In addition to building aerobic base and aerobic capacity, Zone 2 training also increases the density and the efficiency of your mitochondria. Not to get too sciencey, but as we all know from high school, mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell. Mitochondrial dysfunction can lead to a lot of health issues later in life, and I've got them written down so I don't forget. So things like cancer growth, immune system issues, dementia, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, lots of issues. So Zone 2 training not only helps you now, but it helps you as you age too, to stay fit and healthy and, keep some of these top killers, top diseases at bay. So to sum up, Zone 2 training is important because it builds your aerobic capacity, which will let you build on that aerobic base, is what we call it, with speed work. So you need to be doing a lot of Zone 2 training for that, especially if you're starting out, and it'll help you as you age, help you with longevity. So a general rule is 80-20. There's plenty of books and stuff out there on the 80-20 running, 80-20 triathlon, that 80% of your training should be easy and 20% of your training should be hard. Especially when you're earlier in your running journey, most of it should be easy Zone 2 work, and then you can add in some of the speed work. Because if you try to do speed work without the aerobic base, you're going to plateau and you're going to just get frustrated, spin your wheels, and burn out. The second mistake most people make is they don't do enough cross training and don't put enough effort into cross training. Cross training is a way you can get a lot of Zone 2 work in without putting pounding on your legs. So if you're coming back from an injury, if you are a newer runner, you've taken a break and you need to come back, cross training will help you get a lot of aerobic capacity built without pounding your legs, causing, runner's knee, shin splints, IT band syndrome, all the common things that happens in new runners or people coming back from running, or people ramping their mileage up a lot. Additionally, no matter how many years of training you have, some people's bodies can't handle high mileage. Some elite runners are running 100+ miles a week. A lot of people can't do that, especially starting out. It takes a lifetime to build that. I can't run that. A lot of people I know can't. It doesn't mean you can't do long races though. You just need to be smart with how you train. For instance, my coach, which I'll make a video on later about that whole process, about my coach, how the programming works, all that stuff. But when he did his first ultra, it was a 94-mile ultra, and he substituted some of the miles he would have run for walking lunges. So he did, 400 meters of walking lunges on Friday before his long run. And he would work up, I think he did a couple thousand meters of walking lunges before his long run on his peak week. Build a lot of volume in the legs. Other cross training things you can do other than strength training are cycling and swimming, which again are going to build that aerobic capacity. Finally, a benefit of cross training is you need to look at what's sustainable for you year round. For instance, if I ran year round, I would burn out mentally. I do run year round, but if I ran higher mileage year round, I would burn out physically and mentally. Cross training, getting on the bike, getting in the pool really helps you take a mental break from pounding pavement or being out on the trails or wherever you run. And, mental and physical break, it gives your legs a break, right, from all the pounding. So you need to look at cross training as a way to keep your aerobic base up, your aerobic capacity up year round without pounding on your legs. The third mistake most people make is they don't eat enough, right? We all see these people that are steroided out or bodybuilders online, and you think, man, I want to look that way. But really, that's not reality. There's Photoshop, there's steroids. That's not how most people look. And eating disorders are very prevalent in high school sports, collegiate sports, and it causes a lot of issues, hormonal issues, mental issues. So I just want to say that off the bat. Eating disorders are super prevalent, and I do not think you should cut calories without, being consulted with a dietitian, a doctor, something like that, right? Especially for us, right? People that are endurance athletes that are burning a lot of calories. I count my calories to make sure I eat enough and eat enough protein, eat enough carbs, because you need all those good nutrients. But if you don't have a good relationship with counting calories, I don't recommend it. You don't need to count calories. What you need to do is just make sure you're eating enough, making sure you're paying attention to your body's hunger cues. And also, paying attention to post-workout, right? After a hard workout, a hard run, you might not be hungry, but you really need to eat. So you need to make sure you're getting some healthy food, right? Running 20, 30, 40, 100 miles a week doesn't mean you just get to eat junk, right? You need nutrients. So you need to eat healthy food. You need to eat a lot of it. And, again, the 80-20 principle. You got to live too, right? What's the point of life if you don't enjoy it? So 20% of the time, go out and have fun. My recommendation is to go out and have fun for that 20% of the time, not sit in front of the TV and eat ice cream, because, you're going to finish that ice cream and then go to bed. You're not making memories. Whereas if you go out with people, go out with friends, have a few beers, have some burgers, whatever, you're making memories with people. So that's what's important to me. But 80% of the time, eat healthy, eat a lot. Who cares if you put on an extra few pounds if, you're faster, you're stronger, you're fitter. The scale is just relative to gravity. Real quick, if you guys are finding this video helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe. It helps the channel, and I love making this content for you guys, and it helps me keep doing that. So thank you. And the fourth and final thing is people aren't sleeping enough. Most people are chronically underslept, and they think they feel fine, but they don't. I really became interested in sleep after I listened to the Joe Rogan podcast with Dr. Matthew Walker on it. Once I listened to that podcast, it was super eye-opening. I bought his book. It's called Why We Sleep by Dr. Matthew Walker. I really recommend it. I learned a ton. I think everybody should read it because I personally didn't take sleep as seriously before I read it. Most of us think we feel fine after 6 hours of sleep, but we really don't. We've just been running on fumes for so long that we're used to it. The fact that you think you can function on 6 hours of sleep isn't a testament to your ability to function on 6 hours of sleep. It's a testament to the resiliency of the human body that you don't notice. When you really get a full, deep 8-9 hours of sleep, you feel so rested in the morning, you feel so good. Sleep is vital for your health, but it's also vital for your fitness. If you don't sleep enough, you're not going to be recovered enough to do training the next day and the next day and the next day. Gains don't come when you're training, they come when you're recovering, when you're resting. So really you need to rest and recover as hard as you train. There's a few times I've heard this quote from a few different people. It's that overtraining doesn't exist, just under recovering. That's not really 100% true, but it's true to an extent, right? Most people don't have the capacity, the time in their day to train so hard that their body can't recover from it, but they can not sleep enough, not eat enough, not get some mental relaxation. And without all those things, you are going to overtrain because your body's going to be under-recovered. So like I said before, you need to eat enough, but you definitely need to sleep enough. In the book, Dr. Matthew Walker also pointed out that if you could choose between not drinking water, not eating, or not sleeping, he would choose not drinking water and not eating, because the negative side effects of not getting a full night's sleep are worse than that of being dehydrated on performance and being malnourished on performance. Hopefully that was helpful. Again, if you liked the video, I'd appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.